Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Listen, let's just get to the point, right? I think Jermall Charlo could be the guy to beat David Benavidez. I don't think Canelo's the guy. I don't. And I'm not saying Jermall is, but what I am saying is Jermall Charlo could be the guy. Now, when we take a look and really understand what happened this weekend, hold on, let me close this shit. Yeah, better, man. That damn light from the sun was getting in my eyes. When we take a look and understand what happened this weekend with Caleb Plant, Benavidez, look, the fight was good, okay? Plant had a lot of success the first half of the fight. That left hand, that jab, the hook, everything, every single thing, if you notice in Caleb Plant's fights, it starts with not even the jab, it just starts with his left hand. From hooks, uppercuts, jabs, he even throws a weird 2-1 combination. And where the right hand is more, it's coming from back here, but it's more like a jab that explodes with the left hand. And the reason why he throws that, he's one of the only fighters I've seen who throws a 2-1, is because he's left-handed, right? Now, I've done videos on this. I've been talking about this for months, about Caleb Plant being left-handed. I even talked about the guy, Matias, and he fights down at 140. He's left-handed too. But with Caleb Plant and David Benavidez, and this is why I think Charlo has a good chance of beating Benavidez, is Caleb Plant he didn't have a right hand. And Caleb Plant can't fight on the ropes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this real quick. Jermall Charlo, I understand he fights at 160. But he can he could easily make 168 pounds. Now, it's something that you guys need to understand. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. All right, so when you look at old Jermall Charlo here, right? This man has 32 wins, 22 of those by KO, no losses. But he's 6'1". David Benavidez is 6'2", right? You look at his reach, 73.5, 68% KO ratio. So what I'm getting at is he can easily get to 168 and handle himself. But I want to make sure that I foot stomp and that I underscore that I realize Charlo would be considered a smaller man, all right? And that matters. It really does. Going up to 168, Benavidez really should be fighting at cruiserweight. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing I say that I'd be a little uncertain about Charlo and Benavidez, and as far as the transition with that 8-pound difference, that could be huge. So for those of you out there who are saying, "Nah, man, Charlo's a smaller fighter," I recognize that. You know what I'm saying? And I would subscribe to that. That could be an issue. So I want to make sure I put that out there. I'm not going to take it to the stupid. Don't tell me to hold my horses. But this is the difference with Charlo and Plant. Charlo's right-handed. He fights as an orthodox. But the thing is, his left hand is powerful too. His jab, his damn hook, everything. Jermall Charlo can fight. Jermall Charlo is no kidding. He's a true definition of a boxer puncher. He can sit there and fight on the outside. He can be an outer fighter. He can come and fight mid-range. He can be a mid-range fighter. He can get in close, be an inside fighter. You understand? He can scrap. He can brawl. He can free swing, right? All the different categories of boxer, he fits them all. You back him up against the ropes, you guys who have boxed before, or even if you just sparred or you watch boxing, by now you should know. If someone backs you up against those ropes, the combination to get out of it, man, is uppercut, hook, and roll out. You understand? Charlo throws a serious ass uppercut. If he catches Caleb Plant with that uppercut hook, he's in trouble. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. What I'm telling you is Caleb Plant wasn't able to do those things because he doesn't have power in his right hand. So once David Benavidez was able to, get beyond the early rounds where Plant had a whole lot of stamina, he still had a lot of power. He was able to use those legs, the lateral movement, get out of the way, and Caleb Plant was very calm. And that's so important in a fight. But the bottom line is Plant couldn't really pull the trigger with that right hand because he doesn't have confidence in it because there's no power in it. That's why he changes up his combinations, everything is. If you watch, he'll throw jab to the body, jab up top, jab back to the body, hook, hook. No, I mean, the right hand, when he throws his combinations, you could see that the right hand has no power. It's just more like shoe shining, tickling the opponent. And David Benavidez was able to, he didn't have much to worry about because he knew there wasn't much power there. The only thing was the speed. Speed is power, but there's really no power coming off of Caleb Plant after about 5 or 6 rounds. He just couldn't sit down on his punches and get that shot off with that left hand. See, I don't think Darrell realized Caleb Plant was left-handed. That's when he got knocked out. Otherwise, he would have took that left hook from him. Taking the left hook away from somebody is not hard to do. You understand? You just got to know what you're doing, right? I did a video about how to take the left hook away from somebody. I did it about Plant yesterday. Go check it out. But David Benavidez, once Plant started slowing down, he took that left hand from him. It was all downhill. And that's why the fight changed the way it did. A lot of people, one guy told me he was shouting at the screen, throw your effing right hand. You know what I'm saying? When he was watching TV. Because he recognized, damn, Plant's not throwing his right hand. And I'm going to tell you, I used to do a lot of training like a lot of you. And I'm going to tell you from experience, man. I'm right-handed. But when I used to fight, it was a southpaw. You know what I'm saying? I just was never comfortable with being in an orthodox stance. I was just never comfortable with it, man. I was always comfortable at the southpaw stance. That coach would sit there and try to, hey, but that's not where your power is. I was like, man, I just wouldn't do it. So that's how I fought. But fortunately, I had a little bit of power in that left hand, but the right hand, definitely. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you, I'll keep it short and quick. I got into a situation in a sparring match where I had somebody who was able to step away. He was stepping more to my left. One of his teammates told him, yo, that guy's right-handed. He's not left-handed. So this guy wasn't letting me get my right foot outside of his lead foot, nothing, man. And he was moving to my left. So he was moving away from my power. And then I was throwing to the left, but it made me think twice. I'm not gonna be honest. I'll be honest with you. I became a little bit discouraged. Like, okay, I gotta throw this damn left hand. And he was coming on strong. But what I'm saying is, if you're in a fight like with Plant and Benavidez, I can only imagine what was going through Caleb Plant's head when he knew deep down, right? When you're in the ring, whether you're outside slap boxing or you're sparring or you're in a no kidding fight, right? You know deep down when things aren't working. You know deep down what your weapons are, and you know which ones are dangerous and which ones are not. It's a difference between hitting somebody with a shotgun and a pop gun. And Caleb Plant, his right hand is a pop gun. His left hand, can be a shotgun. And David Benavidez took the shotgun away from him, and David Benavidez went to work. But with Jermall Charlo, that's not going to be the case. Okay, that's it. David Benavidez can't just come and try to walk Charlo down. He's going to run into something. Now, when you're talking about a guy like Jermall Charlo, you know what I'm saying? Let's just take a look at a few things here. Now, let me move this over so you can see the names. Let me expand this for you guys, all right? Because I know maybe looking at this on your cell phone. But when you look at just Charlo and some of the guys he's fought, to try to understand, let's just go all the way back here to 2000 and, let me see, what's this? Julian Williams was 2016, right? Let me pull this over a little bit. So you come on over here, see Julian Williams, that was where he hit him with the big uppercut, that counter uppercut, knocked Julian Williams silly. That's, again, somebody coming forward. But Benavidez has worked on his head movement. Benavidez was looking more like a damn boxer puncher early in the fight. He was trying. So you can see Benavidez is just going to keep getting better. That can be a problem for anybody he gets in the ring with. But he clipped Williams, he clipped Holland, he clipped Centeno. He had a really good fight there, man. The second round got him out of there. But he had some problems with Korobov. Korobov can fight, and I think he lost that fight to Korobov like many other people do. But at the end of the day, he got the win, but I think he lost that fight. But if you look at the style of Korobov and a guy like Benavidez, that Korobov is quicker, he counters better. But once Benavidez closes the distance, Jermall could be in trouble getting hit with shots that he doesn't need to get hit with, because Benavidez obviously has some serious power. But he got through Korobov, came back against Adams, Hogan, Derevinchenko, which was a good fight. They went back and forth, but Derevinchenko proved that he belongs up there with the elite at 160. Then he got in there with Montiel, and that fight went the distance. Okay? So when you think about a guy like Jermall Charlo, and this is all at 160, he's proven that he should be the favorite going to a fight, but also he showed in that Korobov fight, if you have some boxing IQ and you have quick enough hands to counter, and you're willing to take the lead, right, and risk getting countered by Charlo, and have the wits about you to get underneath his punches and get out the way, you have a good chance of upsetting the apple cart, right? That's not my opinion. Right? This is boxing 101. If you do these things, this is probably what's going to be the outcome. So that being said, with Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez, I just think that's the fight to make. David Benavidez and Canelo, that's not going to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody go put duck sauce on the fried rice, right? Simple. Morrell and Canelo, not going to happen. All right? And then Charlo still at 168. I know this weekend, what he saw in that ring, he didn't like. And I don't mean didn't like anger. Didn't like, you're not putting me in there with that Mexican monster. I'm telling you right now. Matter of fact, Charlo may be putting down that plate of barbecue and putting duck sauce on the fried rice too. We're going to find out just how much these boxers love duck sauce, because I have no doubt they're going to be all kind of duck sauce. It's going to probably be like when COVID hit, where you couldn't find no Lysol wipes, you couldn't find no disinfectant, you couldn't find no water. Goddamn Benavidez start calling up boxers, there ain't going to be no duck sauce on shelves. Duck sauce going to go, it's going to be a high demand, low supply of duck sauce, because nobody going to want to fight that man, and Benavidez keeps getting better and better. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think realistically the fight to make, matter of fact, I think we just went over it, but let's see realistically, man, because, since we're talking about it again, I don't mind going back up to it. Let's see, realistically, just look right here. Benavidez and Canelo's not happening. We know Benavidez is the mandatory. It's not going to happen. Plant, not going to happen. Ryder is happening. Morrell, I just don't think they're going to put Canelo Alvarez in with Morrell. And Billy, Bazinian, they have a better chance. Darrell, it is what it is. So really, Canelo, don't expect him. After he fights Bivol later this year, he's going to fight Ryder than Bivol. Look, man, don't expect Canelo to come and fight no damn Morrell or Benavidez. I just don't see it happen. What's his name? Canelo said something. He wants to be a billionaire. And doing it in the sport of boxing. He has a lot of different things going on outside the sport of boxing, which is smart. But if he can sit there and fight a guy like, look at this guy's name, man. Right? If he can go and fight a guy like Billy or Bazinian or Shishkin, right? If he can go fight those guys and make 30, 40 million, I mean, you figure if he fights 4 fights like that, which some people complain about the opponents he's been choosing, but hey, he's undisputed at 168, so I mean, he's got mandatories. But if he can fight 4 nobodies and make 40 million, that's $200 million. How much money has this man made already? So Canelo, he may be like 6, maybe 8 fights removed from being a billionaire based on the type of fight person he's commanded, especially over the last 5 years. So Canelo may be maybe 6 to 8 fights from retiring as a billionaire, which was his goal. Why sitting there and risk that? Risk those purses to get in and get damaged by a Benavidez or a Morrell. And now, the demand to see you fight goes from a 40 million fight purse to maybe a 15 million. You know what I'm saying? So now, this is business, man. And I don't think Canelo's afraid of anyone. I just think Canelo wants to see what it feels like to be a billionaire. And fighting those guys, there'll probably be a lot of money in it. But the rematch could be some money in it. But after that, then what? That's 2 fights. This man needs more than 2 fights to get to meet his goal of being a billionaire. But that being said, Jermall Charlo, Benavidez, yeah, man, that's a great fight. I'm just not sure that that's going to happen. I think Jermall is really looking at something bigger and better, with maybe a little bit less risk. Benavidez doesn't seem to care. And Canelo looking for something that's really huge, that's big money-wise, and maybe not that much of a risk in my opinion. But Canelo's not afraid. Who knows? He may say, F it, I'll fight Benavidez. And if he does that, you have a lot of respect for him. Especially the fact that I feel Canelo has 1 foot out the door of boxing, 1 foot out of boxing, 1 foot in boxing. And when you get to that point, that's not good. Plus, he's drinking a lot. But Benavidez drinks too. So these guys both, consume alcohol. Not saying nothing's wrong with it if it's done in moderation. But, I mean, if you want to perform to an optimal level, then alcohol is just not something you should be putting into your body. I mean, it is what it is, right? But that being said, more to come on the 168-pound division. See what Jermall tries to do. He got to come back. He probably won a couple of fights before he gets in there with any of these guys anyway. But I honestly think he may be the guy out of everyone else, right? He may be the guy who can really give some problems to Benavidez. But then again, Benavidez is a much bigger fighter. He's got Heredia. I don't care what anyone says. That matters. Heredia matters. I mean, the cocktails he's putting together, it matters. And I'm not saying that they're illegal. I'm not saying they're pets, but I'll call what he puts together and gives his fighters a goddamn cocktails. Whether he's in the past given illegal ones, now he's legit. He just mastered supplementation, mastered, drugs, mastered vitamins, mastered whatever it is. He knows how to put it together to make sure he can help to change his fighters, not only appearance, but their performance in the ring. And Conti can do it too, but obviously Conti lost the battle of the cocktails when Caleb Plant got that developed low energy after round 6. But that being said, more to come on all these guys. Man, boxing's looking good. So glad to hear that they did 750,000 pay-per-view buys. Don't know how true that is, but that's what's floating around out there. But we'll wait till we get the final number. But if they did 750,000 pay-per-view buys, let's just understand this real quick. That doesn't mean they get that money. Remember, off the rip, you might as well take that 750 and split that in half. Okay? 375 a piece. Well, 375 to the network, 375 to the promoter. And then however they decide to split that up between the fighters. Okay? So you got 375,000 off the top. Goes over to the network, right? That other 375,000 goes to the promoter. That 375,000 gets split with the promoter and the fighters. Okay? So really, when you start looking at those numbers, I'm just telling y'all, it's not what y'all think. Right? You're talking about 180 plus thousand, okay, coming down to the fighter. That's all I'm saying. To get split up. I don't know how they're doing it, but it's still a lot of damn pay-per-view sales. But I'm just telling y'all, when you hear those big numbers, understand it's a 10% goes to, I think it's a cable company, man, something like that. Then 40% goes to the network and the other 40% goes to the promoter. Or 45% goes to the network, the other 45% goes to the promoter. So 45 and 45 is 90, the other 10 is the 100%. So don't think that whole 750,000 in pay-per-view buys goes to the fighters. That's not how that works. 10% to the, I believe it's cable company, 45% to the network. The other 45 goes to the promoter, and that's what he agrees to with his fighters. That's how they split up that 45% to see who's going to get what, and it's crazy. So once you understand that, you see why it's important that everybody buys the fight so these fighters can really make handsome purses. That's why Deontay Wilder, when they did that interview with Deontay Wilder at the fight, he was going off about piracy because Deontay Wilder, I think he made like $2.50 for his fight against Helenius. Deontay Wilder is pissed. He don't want to hear nothing about piracy, about illegal streams, fire sticks. Because Wilder, my boy, did like 77,000 pay-per-view buys. And remember, 10% of that goes to, I think, the cable company. 45% goes to the network. The other 45% of that 77,000 goes to the promoter, and then they split that. However, whatever, 50%, however they agree, give 50% of pay-per-view buys. So 50% of that 45 goes to the fighter. Ah, man, so Deontay Wilder wasn't happy. But that being said, y'all keep cool, man. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. Y'all, I'm in the breeze.